Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Randolph podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about music, films, books, and anything pertaining to the arts that I am interested in. In this first episode, we're going to be talking about the song The Devil Went Down to Georgia by Charlie Daniels. Now, if you haven't listened to the song before you even listen to the podcast, I recommend you go listen to the song so you have kind of an idea of what it is we're talking about. Give you a little bit of backstory about the song. It was produced in 1979, and it's from the Charlie Daniels Band album Million Mile Reflections. Now, when Charlie Daniels was creating this song, he um, needed a fiddle song. That's kind of what his followers and people who liked him. Part of the reason they liked him is because on every album, traditionally, he had a fiddle song. So he wanted to do a fiddle song, and the story goes that he was thinking and remembering this poem that he had read in high school. And it's about a boy who grows up in the Georgia mountains and he plays a fiddle. And the boy goes to a fiddle playing contest and he wins. And he wins because he, quote unquote, plays from the heart. So Charlie Daniels was thinking about this and he liked the idea of that kind of scenario, but he wanted it to be higher stakes. So he made it so that Johnny, the person who's playing the fiddle, is being tested by the devil. And not only that, but he is in a contest with the devil. And this contest is for Johnny's soul, or if Johnny wins, for a gold fiddle. So the stakes are very high, and this is kind of my first point about the song, why I love it so much, is the song has a really strong narrative structure. And what I mean by that is, just as you learn in high school or middle school about narrative structure, you learn that there's an introduction, a rising action, a climax, a falling action, and a resolution. And this is exactly what we get with The Devil Went Down to Georgia. So at the beginning of the song, we learn um, that the devil is going down to Georgia, right? He's trying to find a soul that he can get because he's behind. He hasn't collected enough souls. So, he comes across Johnny who's playing a fiddle, and the devil challenges him, and he says, I bet I can play a fiddle better than you. And if I win, I get your soul. But if you win, I'll give you my own gold fiddle. So this is the exposition, right? Now, the rising action is Johnny accepting this duel. He agrees to play against the devil. And there's this wonderful chorus. And the chorus goes, Johnny, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard, 'cause hell's broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals the cards. And if you win, you get this shiny fiddle made of gold. But if you lose, the devil gets your soul. That is an amazing rising action. We know what the stakes are of this duel. We know the consequences of Johnny losing the duel. And so we have an attachment now to Johnny. We want him to win. We want him to beat that old devil. And he does. And that's the amazing part about this song is that typically, and this will kind of connect to my second point, typically at the end of every story that involves the devil, somebody loses because it's the devil, right? The devil always wins. That's how it goes. And this goes in accordance with something called the Faust theme. Um, the Faust theme is basically this reoccurring theme throughout history of somebody making a deal with the devil and then losing at the end. Okay, so another famous example of this is Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson was a famous blues player who allegedly sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads in exchange for extraordinary talent with a guitar. And um, so Robert Johnson is venerated in a famous bluesman, but he, quote unquote, lost his soul to the devil because of doing this. And there are other examples of the Faust theme, but the basic principle is that somebody makes a deal with the devil and then they lose. Well, the climax of The Devil Went Down to Georgia is that Johnny wins, and he wins the gold fiddle, which is an amazing, a great catharsis. It's a feel good moment, and it's almost hopeful. And part of the reason that Johnny wins goes, well, obviously, because that's how Charlie Daniels wanted it to be. But if we're going along with the idea of the song as something that really happened, Charlie, when speaking about how he played the fiddle, he said that when he was playing the devil's part of the fiddle, he played it with a lot of fury, kind of atonal sounds, whereas Johnny, he made it more melodic and more beautiful. And that's why Johnny wins, because at least in Charlie Daniels' mind, the devil is not as melodic or as beautiful, and he could never have hoped to reach that level of um, beauty that Johnny is able to evoke from the fiddle. It's a really great moment, both in um, buying into the reality of the song, right? But also Charlie Daniels' forethought of playing the two characters differently. And it really sets it up well in a way that you believe and you buy into the outcome of the song. So the final thing I want to talk about is that the song kind of functions as this metaphor to the South. Now, Charlie Daniels has always been a vocal advocate of the South. He loves the South. And the title of the song, "The Devil Went Down to Georgia," implies that the devil came down from the North, which is an interesting idea in that, um, there's this great kind of lurking sentiment among true Southerners who, you know, have a reverence for their Southern history and heritage and pride that one day the South will rise again, quote unquote. And that's kind of what Charlie Daniels is applying here, and he holds no punches back from giving the devil a face, or the face of the North. Rather than saying that the devil comes up to Georgia, he says the devil went down to Georgia, and that's very specific, right? Normally, we already think of the devil and hell as being beneath us, but by implying that the devil went down to Georgia, or by saying that the devil went down to Georgia, he implies that the devil comes down from the north, which is a really interesting idea, and it just goes to show Charlie Daniels' love for the South. Take it as you will, but that's just kind of the metaphor that I get from the song. So this has kind of just been a quick dive into The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I encourage everybody, if you haven't, to listen to the song. And more than that, the next time you're listening to any of your favorite songs, music, really listen to the lyrics and give the lyrics their time, because if you're listening to somebody who is conscious and crafting good lyrics, strong lyrical content, it's really worth giving them their time due by paying attention and respecting the lyrics. And, that can go for any genre of music that you want or like, but there you have it. So I hope you all enjoyed the first episode of the Randolph podcast, in which we covered The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Take care. I hope you have a great day.